Piccolo embodied the spirit of the legendary Namekian god. What's going on with Piccolo? What is being shown in the face of all this? The spirit of the strongest being is embodied in Piccolo. What happens and why is Piccolo being shown this way? At that moment, Piccolo saw that Gohan was not able to hold his own in his fight against Zaki. At that instant, Piccolo interferes with the battle. Piccolo says,
"Gohan, I'll cover for you. Come with me. Follow in my footsteps from the same fight we had against Cell Max, and we'll beat this guy. Strength will never count if you don't have a strategy in battle. Let's defeat this guy together, just like we did with Cell."
Piccolo kept hearing voices in his head and trying to understand. Piccolo thinks,
"What's going on here with me? This doesn't make any sense. Stop talking nonsense. I don't need any power. All my power was released when I asked Shenron to release my latent power, so this cannot possibly happen. Wait, could it be that when I made the wish to Shenron, it was only bits of my latent power that were released? Come on, Gohan, let's finish this guy off."
Zaki starts laughing and says, "Does that mean you think it's going to be that easy? Do you think you can defeat me? You make me laugh. A Saiyan and a Namekian. Come on, show me what you're capable of." At that moment, Gohan begins to raise his power alongside Piccolo. The two try to attack Zaki directly. Zaki, with great mastery, begins to dodge all the blows that were being shown. Zaki's Ultra Instinct appeared to be superior even to Goku's. At that moment, Zaki attacks and hits Gohan's belly and continues advancing until he lands a punch in Piccolo's face. Gohan and Piccolo fall to the ground. Gohan says, "This guy seems to be pushing me to the limit. His powers don't even compare to any enemy we've fought. Maybe I have to use the last resort." Gohan begins to remember the training he had with the Great Priest. Flashback of Gohan training alongside Vegeta against the Grand Priest. The High Priest says, "You two are amazing warriors, Sir Gohan and Sir Vegeta. But your energies, unlike Son Goku's, need a lot of fury to get stronger. Maybe it would be interesting for you to combine your powers alongside the calm of your hearts. Your latent power is incredible, Gohan. You should work on that side more." Gohan and Vegeta are training for days in Zeno-sama's palace until the moment a great explosion of energy happens. The High Priest says, "As expected, you really made it." Gohan responds, "Daishin-kan, it seems I managed to raise my powers much higher. After this training, I'm sure Vegeta also managed to get much stronger. But still, it looks like something is off. Every time I raise my energy to that stage, my power ends up being completely depleted. After using this attack, it seems that I lose all my energy." At that instant, the High Priest says, "This blow is a two-edged sword. After you use it, you won't be able to fight for about 1 hour. So, if you don't defeat the enemy with this blow, you will definitely be killed in the fight." Gohan begins to reflect. Gohan's powers were being raised more and more. But Gohan says, "Does this mean that this will be my last card? I need to get stronger and stronger so I don't have to use this skill. If I fail to defeat the enemy with this blow, it will be the end of me." Okay, a bit risky. A new type of transformation and my Beast 2 form might make a difference. But I still can't control it 100%. I'm going to need to put together the real strategy for this fight. At that moment, Gohan raises his energy more and more, and Piccolo starts to be fascinated.
"Amazing, Gohan. You are showing your true energy."
The moment Piccolo lets his guard down in battle, Zaki attacks him and pierces his belly. Piccolo falls to the ground. Gohan doesn't understand what happened to Piccolo. At that moment, a voice over Piccolo comes up again and says, "Come on, accept my power. My power is your power. Let's show what we're really capable of." At that moment, Piccolo, with his body completely knocked down, says,
"If I accept his power, will we be able to take this guy down?"
At that moment, a great laugh arises. Gohan is in a state of shock watching Piccolo, and he sees that Piccolo's body was changing color to a bluish color and lightning was appearing over his body. The power of the legendary Namekian god surged over Piccolo's body. At that moment, Banzerot, who was fighting Broly, starts to wonder when he sees the difference that had happened with Piccolo and says,
I didn't know that beings of the Namek race could get so powerful.
Piccolo, with his increasing power, begins to laugh and says,
Ha ha ha! This power is amazing! Does that mean then, what is it?
Piccolo begins to remember all the fights he has ever had, and in his mind begins to remember when he fought Goku. Piccolo says,
It's Goku. When we fought, when we were young, our powers were very similar. I was even consumed by evil wanting to dominate the earth. But time passed, you managed to become much more powerful, and even I increased my powers. I was behind you and all the other Saiyans. It seems like yesterday all this happened. I couldn't do anything against Majin Buu, and even less when the destroyer Beerus appeared on Earth. I knew this needed to change. After all, I am a warrior. I started to realize after the fight against Cell Max that maybe the power I showed wasn't all my strength. It makes me very happy to know that I can increasingly overcome my limits. There are no limits to determination. Now I know that with this power that I have, no one else can stop me.
Piccolo starts laughing insanely. Zaki watches and says, What is this guy laughing at? Because his eyes and skin have changed? I'm starting to consider these Universe 7 mortals a real problem. They seem to be defeated and soon after they raise their powers to levels that maybe even they wouldn't believe. But it does not matter. Receive my ultimate attack, Dark Aura of the Makaioshin realm. In a few moments, Piccolo appears in front of Zaki and kicks him, causing Zaki to be thrown into the rubble of the earth. Fascinated Gohan says, Mr. Piccolo managed to regenerate, and now with his new form, he is winning the battle. Mr. Piccolo, you are amazing.
Piccolo, smiling, says, Haha, let's start, God of Destruction of Universe 14.
Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our entire universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to the point. Piccolo, the Namekian god who managed to receive the power of the being who claimed to be the legendary Namekian god. What was really happening to Piccolo? Piccolo starts landing several blows on Zaki. Piccolo starts to show a great energy that was being raised over his body. Big blows begin to fall. At that moment, Zaki starts talking. What happened to this guy? This is a bit strange. He managed to get much stronger, and in a short period of time. In fact, he looked like he was dead just a few minutes ago. It even seems like he's not even the same person he's fighting. How does this guy manage to do this? It's getting interesting. At that moment, Gohan starts watching and says, Mr. Piccolo is amazing. He's getting to fight this guy, maybe even more than everyone else. Did Master Piccolo have all this power and had he hidden it all this time? At that moment, Piccolo begins to reflect and remembers the last training he performed in the Room of Time. Reflecting on the powers that were shown, Piccolo has a small flashback in his mind of his planet Namek. Piccolo could see that among the Namekians there were many formidable warriors who used to display their powers in a very high way. Piccolo watches and says,
The legend of the legendary Namekian warrior. No one would ever be able to defeat this warrior. He would have the necessary power to end any enemy that appeared there. It was said in the past that after a being of the Namekian race reached the maximum limit of his strength, he would be able to break the barriers of overcoming, becoming the new Namekian god. But Piccolo that this power was fleeting. He wouldn't be able to use this skill in a battle for more than 3 minutes. It was said that the true legendary warrior would only need that much time to defeat the enemy.
Back to present times. Piccolo starts to land several blows, putting pressure on Zaki. Banzerot observes and speaks.
What's happening? Soon you suffering for a warrior like that?
Zaki observes and speaks. I don't understand. This guy was practically knocked down. How did he manage to show so much strength? At that moment, Zaki starts laughing and says, Haha, that's why he's fighting. He is wanting to end this battle very quickly. It looks like he should have some time for his powers to return to normal in this fight. At that moment, Gohan steps forward to attack Zaki along with Piccolo, but Piccolo says,
Gohan, stay out of this. See how a real warrior should fight and behave in a battle against the enemy.
Gohan finds his master's words strange. In a few moments, Piccolo teleports and hits Zaki's belly. Zaki is lying on the ground. Piccolo says,
With that power, I became a practically invincible being. You will never be able to do anything against me.
Just as Piccolo was about to thank Zaki for the final blow, his powers ran out. Piccolo says,
What? Impossible. The 3 minutes haven't passed. What happened to my god energy?
Zaki starts laughing and says, Just in time. As I imagined, you don't have 100% control of this power. At that moment, Zaki changes the shape of his face and creates an ultimate attack. Zaki says, Haha, Fist of Destruction. Zaki hits Piccolo in the belly. Piccolo lands on the ground with his belly pierced in front of Gohan again. Piccolo looks at Gohan and says,
I'm sorry, Gohan. I failed you.
Piccolo is dead. Gohan speaks. Do not. It's not possible. It cannot be. You as well? Master Piccolo, stand up please. Use your Namekian regeneration skill. Come on, Mr. Piccolo. Please. At that moment, Gohan noticed that Piccolo didn't hear his voice anymore. Zaki, smiling, says, Calm down, son Gohan. Soon I will send you to the same place I sent your master. Gohan gets mad. Gohan was no longer the same. The whole earth starts to shake. Zaki and Banzerot are watching. Daishinkan Palace. Zakai watches and speaks. It looks like one of his mighty warriors has already been eliminated. Now it's just a matter of time before they are all killed. Daishinkan responds, Oh, that you are wrong, Zakai. The Namek warrior's death will lead to a big bang. This explosion of feeling of sadness and fury will make the Saiyan hybrid awaken his fury. Zakai, with an impressed face, says, What? Impossible. On the other side of Earth, while Gon was fighting Kai, Kai is amazed and says, What kind of energy is this? Back to Gohan and Zaki's location. Gohan says, Now I will have no pity for you, Zaki. To be continued. Has Piccolo's death left Gohan out of control? What will really happen in the face of all of this? Alright partner, regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.